If there's two things I'm overly skeptical about in this day and age, and for my own age, it's overhyped fandoms and Disney movies. I grew up with Disney. My favorite movies of all time are pretty much a tie between Beauty and the Beast and The Hunchback of Notre Dame. I've studied Disney, I'm the daughter of a Disney trivia champion, and I've seen the rise, the fall, the renaissance, and the down spiral of Disney animation. And seriously, you know you're getting old when you side with overprotective King Triton over bratty 16 Miss Know-It-All Princess.
I'm 16 years old. I'm not a child.
You know nothing about life, you little princess! But as I've stated, I've become skeptical over some Disney titles, even with the fandom claiming it's the most brilliant movie ever! Tangled, Brave, Frozen, and especially Inside Out. Whether I found myself liking or hating these films, I've always found something in each film that irked me, like the characters or the story structure. And don't give me that lame excuse of, it's just a kid's film. Yeah, well, kids are eventually going to grow up, so feed them better materials. I'm sorry, but I just can't accept the statement because even kids deserve better entertainment. What I'm getting at is, there was so much hype for this movie. The very moment it was released, moviegoers praised this movie up and down, begging everyone to see it. And here I am in Australia like, it'll be out on March 17th. We get a koala in ours. So all the hype, like any other, rose my skepticism, but I had to see this movie no matter what. Now that I've seen it, here is Pop Spectrum's review of Zootopia. Our main lead is Judy Hopps, 'cause she's a bunny. Come on, even Robin Hood wasn't named Robin Fox. Ever since she was a child, she had always wanted to become a cop, but her friends and family tell her that's not the right job for her since she's just a small bunny. Passing her academy, the top of her class, her dreams come true as she is sent to a division located in Zootopia, a metropolis paradise where preys and predators can live in harmony. Kinda. On her first day, however, she has been assigned to be the meter lady, even though she'd rather help the other cops track down missing civilians. When she finally gets her first case, with a little help from the mayor's assistant, she has 2 days to prove her worth to the ZPD, while relying on the help from a shady fox, Nick Wilde. Okay, we're kinda getting better at the names here. Everyone all over the internet is praising the movie for its message about racism, discrimination, and prejudice. That just because she's a small prey doesn't mean she can't fight like the big, tough predators can. So after hearing all the praises and finally watching the movie, am I once again against the hype? Meh. Okay, before you write me off like you did with Inside Out, at least let me say this. I honestly have mixed feelings about this movie. It feels like I have a love-hate relationship with this movie because it has a lot of things I love and a lot of things that made me cringe. I'll start off with the animation. It is wonderful. I never knew what to expect out of a utopian society where animals of all sizes can coexist, but there was so much detail in everything they did that I frankly wanted to watch the movie again just to analyze all the little details. From the hamster tunnels to the air vents that help giraffes grab a smoothie. I love how there was a different habitat from the cliffs to the jungle and even to the tundra. I loved every detail of animation that went into this movie. There is one thing about the animation that bugged me though. Why does Judy have Elsa's eyes? Do predators not bother her anyways? Alright, I'll let it go. As for the story, okay, let me at least say that I'm at that age where I've seen this movie before. Never judging the little guy. Racism and discrimination is bad, and you can do anything as long as you believe in yourself, yada yada yada. So a part of me was seeing this as a new way to tell a new audience a moral that adults should know by now. Keyword should. But at first, the movie came off a little too preachy, only to turn itself around and pull off a narrative you don't really see in movies nowadays. The preachy part of the movie comes from Judy herself, a little bunny who wants to become a cop even when her parents beg her not to, since she's just a small bunny doing a big predator's job. So of course she ignores them, follows her dreams, and becomes a cop. While she thinks she can do the job, her colleagues think she can't because of her size. She is a small prey, and the ZPD is full of big, strong predators. Judy, being Little Miss Spunk, didn't help at all. Instead of following orders, she runs off to catch some bad guys to prove that she can be a good cop, even though her actions caused a lot of trouble for the ZPD. That and taking on a case without the chief's permission just because she felt sorry for the clients? I'm sorry, but Judy, who do you think you are? I hated Judy at first. Oh, but if she hadn't have stepped up, she couldn't have proven her worth, Robin. No, that's not how things work, and don't let this movie convince you otherwise. Even if she did graduate at the top of her class, you have to understand the chief's point of view. There are numerous predators out there that are dangerous to handle. Does he really want to take a chance and give her a dangerous task on her first day? Being a small bunny is one thing, but sure, let's just give her a dangerous task on her very first day. Why would he? All of the ZPD officers passed the police academy just like her, so she has to prove herself in time. Not right away when there's more experienced officers who can tackle the job with ease. That's not discrimination. That's just, smart. Several citizens went missing in this large city, and you want him to rely on a brand new officer who just graduated from her academy? Is that how that works in the police force? I honestly don't know if they give rookies dangerous jobs on their very first day. As you can tell with my behavior, I relate more to Nick's character, the cold realist who knows how to play society's game and swindle them. I actually love Nick because throughout most of the movie, he's looking at Judy like, "Aw, well, aren't you just the cutest little bunny rabbit I've ever seen? This city's gonna eat you alive, kid." He is the perfect opposite of Judy. She is optimistic in thinking that she can make a difference as long as she believes in herself. He has been burned by the same city she has high hopes for, so he's just waiting to see her crash like every other dreamer. Basically, whenever Judy is with Nick, the movie is a lot better since these two really do work well together for the story. So the beginning of the movie made me cringe like no other, with Judy being Little Miss Can-Do and the whole discrimination message being rammed down your throat like no other. I wanted to walk out of that theater like you wouldn't believe. For example, they made the N-word joke for bunnies.
I gotta tell you, you are even cuter than I thought you'd be.
Ooh, you probably didn't know, but a bunny can call another bunny cute, but when other animals do it, it's a little...
I am so sorry.
I think I remember falling off my seat having a cringe attack. But I will say this, the more the story went on, the more tolerable Judy and the story became. As preys have to prove their worth while working alongside predators, predators have to prove that they can be trusted. So in this sappy story of discrimination is bad, we get an interesting twist by looking at both sides of prejudice. Not only was Judy being judged for her size and for the fact that she's a bunny, Nick has to prove that he can be trusted because foxes have a stereotype for being dirty liars. Also, there came a point in the movie where they solved the big case, but because of Judy's analysis and the words she told the press, a new wave of judgment and stereotyping hit the air. It was actually shocking to see this side of the movie. Just when you thought the movie was going to end with Little Miss Judy solving the big case while proving to the big predators that she can do anything, the story takes an interesting dark tone. That no matter what side you're on or how progressive you think you are, the history of our ancestors haunt us and everyone is still afraid of each other. That as predators look down on preys for being weak and small, preys can easily play victim while making predators look bad because they're predators. That actually took me by surprise. I actually love how the story turned out. It made Judy learn that reality is very complicated, how you can want life to be one thing, but it's completely different when you step out into the real world. You can't just kick up your feet and cry outrage, nor should you take things into your own hands just because you're not getting what you want. Life is complicated. You gotta try your hardest to get what you want out of life, or the world will eat you alive. I was actually happy to see this optimistic bunny grow into a tolerable, realistic character who can now handle reality. Spoiler Corner! I usually don't do this, but I really want to talk about the ending of the film. If you don't want spoilers, skip to this time frame. Last warning, unless you want to skip to this time frame, spoiler warnings. So there's a drug that makes predators come out into their true form. When Judy and Nick figured that out, they tracked down the location where the drug was being made. Once I saw it was a lamb making the drug, the ending was obvious to me, but it was still very intriguing. Throughout the movie, the mayor's assistant, Miss Bellwether, does what she can to help Judy's investigations. We also witness how the mayor mistreats her and practically abuses her at work. When it seemed like the mayor was behind the predators turning into monsters, he was arrested, to which Miss Bellwether became the next mayor. It turns out, however, this whole thing was a giant setup by her in order to take down her abusive boss. Miss Bellwether and her team made the drug to make all predators look bad, thus forming a new wave of hatred towards predators and giving better opportunities to preys like her and Judy. So not only are we seeing the prejudice from both predators and preys, but we're given a one-of-a-kind villain who used diabolical methods to get her way. But at the same time, you understand her point of view. The mayor treated her and many preys like a tool. She wanted to be treated like an equal, only to be used and neglected. No matter how loyal she was or what she does for the community, she would never advance to be mayor because she's just a small lamb. That is an oppressive character. You sympathize with her and you want to support her because she's being treated poorly, but she's really no better than the predators who put her down in the first place. They made her suffer, so she'll ruin their reputation, not just to become mayor, but because she and other predators have suffered enough. Like racism and discrimination today, there are extreme parties who believe those who suppress them or tortured their ancestors deserve the same treatment. Miss Bellwether is the embodiment of that notion. Preys have suffered in the past, so I am going to make predators suffer. You feel for her, but you can't agree with her methods. Predators treat preys like they're weaker, but do characters like Nick deserve to suffer even though he wanted to do good as a child only to have the system tell him, no, you're a lying fox, so you can't be good? I also appreciated the bullet flip when Miss Bellwether shoots Nick with the drug to kill Judy. My cynical mind thought, oh great, this is gonna be a message about defying your genes and you don't have to be the very thing you're born to be. You may be a predator, Nick, but it's not what you want to be. Remember the person you want to be and fight your biology. That kind of nonsense that I hear all the time on the internet. Thankfully, it wasn't like that, and it was simply Nick pretending to fall for the drug only to say he switched the bullets for blueberries. Oh, you sly fox, you. The ending became somewhat predictable once I saw the lamb making the drugs, but that doesn't mean I didn't like it. If anything, the Miss Bellwether twist made the movie really good to me. Overall, the movie points out in a brilliant way how both sides of discrimination works. The movie could have been another wide-eyed dreamer flick with the main character getting what she wants because she believes in herself. But thankfully, we got something better. Although I really don't like the whole believe in yourself story, since it takes more than believing to get what you want out of life, at least Judy proved herself and evolved her perspective on life. That's a more realistic tone compared to some other stories. For its beautiful animation and interesting turn on an old moral everyone should know, Pop Spectrum gives Zootopia 3.5 pops out of 5. I didn't want to give it a higher rating at first, but the animation and the respectful perspective on both sides of discrimination made me respect this movie a bit more. So even though I find this movie a bit preachy at the very beginning, I can still say this is a good movie that mostly young children will enjoy. Okay, maybe optimistic children at heart will like it too, but the moral won't be as appealing to some adults mostly because we've heard it before. Be sure to check it out and let me know what you think about it in the comment section down below. This is Robin from Pop Spectrum. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, favorite, and comment on this video, as well as subscribe to Pop Spectrum. Thank you for watching!